Okay, I greet you all with love. And today we're going to talk about, again, how our perceptions shape our world. And it's a pretty important theme, and we can see how our world is being shaped all over the place. So let's start with a little prayer, merging the heart and mind, because that's part of our perception. Lesheviku kudashabri ushinate be ilo imulaya shem yuke bavavke. Bidasham shem kozreel kolam amen. Merge that heart and mind. And now we're going to dance. I invite you all to dance and play a little bit before we get to our brief talk. There is a great teaching, and it's a simple teaching. The world is as you see it, the world is as you believe it to be. It says, in essence, how we see the world shapes our world. Now, is this just a figure of speech? Actually, it isn't. They've actually done research on people creating a vision of something like with an atom, and they actually change the atom. So we actually can affect physical reality. Now, of course, the most important physical reality that we can shape is ourselves. And the research shows that, for example, if people are very optimistic about living a long time, they live up to 7 years longer than people who are pessimistic. Now that's quite a statement. That's not a little statement. That's a really big statement that we're talking about. I'm just trying to get myself centered here. And so, if you see that you're going to be healthy and live long, you actually literally, it's just hard to get, you literally add 7 years to your lifespan. So how powerful is that? So clearly how we see ourselves affects our health, our well-being, and literally our longevity. It also affects our environment. How we see ourselves affects how other people see us. And how we treat other people obviously affects how we get treated. So the world is as you see it, the world is as you believe it to be, is a practical reality. So what does that imply for us? What does it mean? What it means is that we can, by our attitude, shape what happens to us. Now, there's another side of that. There's a certain destiny. Things happen. It's predestined, and A happens and B happens. But we shape our reality based on how we respond to that. If we say whatever God does is for the best, I don't understand, this is crazy, but I don't understand, but I know it's for the best, eventually we will see that it's for the best. And it will uplift us rather than saying, oh, this is terrible. So, our words have power, but this goes beyond words. The way we see our world, which is an attitude, which then brings forth our words, is what we're talking about here. So if you wake up in the morning, well, you usually do wake up, but not everybody, and you say, oh, this is going to be a great day, this is really wonderful, it's going to shape your day. Now, this isn't just hopeful thinking. This is literally a way of being in the world. Now, they've done research with people with cancer, and they show women with breast cancer who had a positive attitude and a positive relationship, or several positive relationships, actually had a much higher recovery, survival rate than women who were pessimistic and felt isolated and separated. Now that's very real. I mean, the same type of cancers, they compared it that way. But what was different was the attitude. So it clearly affects our health and our vitality and well-being, not just our negative health, like recovering from cancer, but how long we live, how good we feel, literally how good we feel. That's a really important thing. So these are things to kind of consider that empower us to go ever deeper. It is like a story of Job, actually. It's like, good. And it, yeah, this is, in a sense, a practical story of Job, because it basically says you have a bad vision, you're going to, all these things are going to happen. You have a good vision, all these things are going to happen. So we really have power over our lives to a certain extent. Now, I don't want to make it fantasy. Oh, I'm going to fantasize this or that. I'm talking about kind of a subtlety of how we view the world affects our physiology and affects the world around us. So that's what I'm talking about. We actually create a field that usually is heart-centered, that goes out about 8 feet. That literally, physically changes the world around us. Now that's pretty amazing. So think about it. And I'm saying this in a very positive way, that it's empowering, because we can make the difference. And we can make the difference in a relationship, we can make a difference in whatever we're doing by our attitude. And we really do affect the people around us. So our attitude, what research with couples showed, that when one person is very healthy and optimistic, the other person lives longer. And in fact, the research shows that your longevity is based on the longevity of your mate. So if you have a mate or a partner that feels very positive about things, it affects your lifespan. That's how incredible that is. I mean, that's really incredible. So I really, in a sense, am somewhat amazed at how simple this is. And it's connected to the power of positive thinking, but it's like thought forms are real, and we literally affect the environment around us. So it's just a little bit, it overlaps with positive thinking, but I'm talking about an overall thought form of who we are and the quality of health and the quality of relationship. And it's, an optimistic, I'm going to say positive futuristic view of life. And it makes a difference. Does it completely change our destiny? No, but it takes, usually destiny in a way we talk about metaphysically has variations. Okay, it's like on the same scale you have the highest possibility, and then this possibility, and then this possibility, and by our consciousness we end up choosing which possibility is there. So destiny isn't fixed. It actually has choices. Now the choices are in a sense fixed, but we get to choose which one of those. And that's a subtle teaching, but it's definitely an esoteric teaching that people, use and create. So what I want to say is we have the power to not necessarily control our world, but to influence our world in a positive or negative direction. And may everyone be blessed that we choose to use the power that we have, that is inherently ours, our God-given right, to choose to think in a way that creates a beautiful and fruitful and spiritually uplifting life for ourselves and everyone else around us. Peace be with you. Om Shalom Shalom. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Matakulasa. Aho.